continue to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their gilt rings. Right, the bouncer's gilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Andrew McCART, IFL TV, and I'm delighted to be joined by the British and Commonwealth featherweight champion, Nathaniel Collins. Nathaniel, first and foremost, mate, it's been 3-4 days since your fight, man. How you feeling?
Yeah, good. Thankfully, it's a wee bit different than usual. I'm not too sore and I'm not too tired. So, yeah, it was good.
Well, it only took you 24 seconds.
Yeah, yeah. I actually feel I've not really ate anything too bad. I feel a bit guilty now that I've not earned it.
Well, I seen you were in the gym yesterday. You were back in the gym. You done 5-round sparring, and I think you said on your Instagram 5-round sparring, 5-round bag work. So, I suppose there's a lot of energy to burn now. So, is that why you were in the gym yesterday?
Yeah, absolutely. I needed to just get everything I've trained for out me. So, I was sparring with Jack Turner. He's obviously got his fight coming up on the Burns Lemon show. So he helped me out there for that one. So it's only right that I'm back in the gym helping him.
Quite right. And that's very, very noble and kind of you, because like I say, you didn't need to do sort of stuff like that. Normally when you come out of a fight, you just want to get fat, take a couple of weeks off, eat cakes and whatnot. But you stayed in, you went back to the gym and to help Jack Turner because he's got a Scottish title fight against Andy Tam. But staying on you though, Nathaniel, like I said, it took you 24 seconds to get Raza Hamza out of there. Were you surprised at how quick it was yourself when he didn't get up after that shot?
Yeah, for sure. Like I felt when the shot landed, I felt it. But when it went down, I walked away. I was expecting him to get up. So I wasn't celebrating or anything, like you can see on the video or the TV or whatever. And I'd kind of just walked away and turned around like he's going to get up and it will continue. But he was just lying there, and I was like, "Oofed, this guy's probably out." So it was much quicker than I expected. I predicted the stoppage from the get-go, but honestly thought I would have just overwhelmed him rather than a one-punch knockout, but it was great.
Well, the thing is, you're on a little run now. I think you put up in your, I don't know, I mentioned it in my podcast as well, and you put a post up saying it's seven fights now. You've out the last 7 fights, you've had 6 victories by knockout. The Jacob Robinson was the only one that went the distance, but I think you dropped him as well, did you not? You managed to drop him. So, have you been known for your power? Would you consider yourself a power puncher?
Nah, it's funny because I'm not known for my power. I'm normally known just for being like slick or nice tidy boxing, or you wouldn't just associate me with power. But if you look at my last, like you said, 8 fights, it's all been stoppages, knockouts. So they can't deny my power for much longer.
Well, they can, and like I said to you, and I mentioned this again on numerous occasions, that featherweight division is my favourite division because I like every fighter in that division, not just in the UK but worldwide. But you look at the fighters in the UK, you've got Lee Wood, Josh Warrington, Nick Ball, Jazza Dickens, Louis Flynn, and all these guys. Hopi Price has moved up now to featherweight as well, and Isaac Dogbo, he's highly ranked in a couple of the governing bodies as well. So, I mean, you're the British and Commonwealth champion. I mean, I mentioned these guys, like especially the Lee Woods and Warringtons and Dogbos. They world champions, ex-world champions, still at the top of their game. How far are you from these guys?
I don't think I'm that far. You've seen a lot of these guys who are at the top level, like my name's getting mentioned with now, but there's a lot of these guys that are all fighting 10-rounders for international titles or so on and so forth. You know, since I started fighting for the Commonwealth, I've been in solid 12-rounders, or meant to have been in solid 12-rounders from then. So my last 4, 5, 6 have been scheduled for 12. It's proper fights, you know, domestic level. So I'm coming up the way like the old school guys in Britain were doing it, and just fighting who's there in front of me. Whereas a lot of these guys are fighting 10-rounders against no names or unheard of fighters, or so it's. I would rate myself up there now already. The natural progression for me moving forward is, go for the European, and then that shows you what level you're at.
And who is European champion? Do you know?
An Italian guy, Mauro Forte.
Right. Okay. Well, that was again. That's the traditional route. Is obviously the Commonwealth, British, European, world level. But a lot of people were talking after the fight. Obviously, we know the Nick Ball fight is there or thereabouts. Same promotional company. I mean, you've done yourself wonders fighting out on TNT Sports, your Frank Warren debut, your Queensberry debut, and putting on a performance like that. So your name's now up there and amongst all these guys. Now, the Nick Ball fight, I believe, was talked about or almost signed about a year ago. Do you still fancy that fight? Would you still welcome that fight?
Yeah, absolutely. I'll fight anybody. I've always said it. I'm not scared of challenging myself. I'm not scared of the result. I just want to do what I can do and be the guy that people talk about and say he never turned away for anything. He never shied away for any fight. I was calling for that fight before he was even the name he was, So it's been meant to have happened for a while. In regards to that, he's number one with the WBC. Naturally, you would assume he'll be getting a world title shot.
I was going to say, do you know where you are in WBC?
I was 7 last time I checked.
Yeah, you're still 7. I checked and you were 7, mate. I was going to say that you're highly ranked with the WBC as well. So,
yeah,
I mean that's brilliant, man. I checked the other governing bodies. It's just the WBC you're ranked with just now, but
I know, scumbags don't rate me anywhere else.
Listen, only a matter of time, Nathaniel. That's exactly it. Yeah, so obviously he'll probably be gunning for that sort of Brandon Figueroa, number 2 guy or whatever it was. I think Ray Vargas is champion, Brandon Figueroa is interim champion, Bald number 1, and I think it's Isaac Dogbo who's number 2, or Maurizio Lara. I can't quite remember. So, if the opportunity came for you to fight for the European or fight a guy in that top 3 in the WBC, whether it be a Lara, sort of Isaac Dogbo, where would you like to go? Would you like to have that blue belt, or would you think now's the time to take the opportunity and go for that world title?
If the world title, or if a world title shot, the interim world title shot came up, obviously you're grabbing that with both hands. I'm ready for that now. Genuinely, I believe that, but the politics behind stuff like that is just, it is what it is, which I'm fine with. Like I said, I've only had 13 fights, so people are forgetting that. I'm getting mentioned with these guys with these big names. I've only had 13 fights. So it's the same as Josh. He moved fast. I'm happy to move fast as well, but if it's not there then I'm not going to cry either. I'm only 27, These guys are all 30 odds. So just how it goes. Genuinely now, I feel above British level. I'd like to go and push on and get something else, and it's never been, and I've said it before, it's never been my interest to do the Commonwealth, British, European stuff. Like, I'd have moved on a long time ago, but it's just how things progress and the cards you're dealt with, and that's the path that obviously I've been chosen to walk down.
That's it. Like I said to you, you're in an exciting division, man. I like the division so much because these world titles are swapping hands left, right, and centre. I mean, I think I seen it on Instagram. I can't remember where I saw it, but I've done it myself. I looked back and there's been like 4 WBC champions in the last 18 to 2 years. There's been 4 IBFs, 3 WBAs, and about 4 or 5 WBOs or whatever it was. I can't quite remember, but I mean, that's just ridiculous, man. The fact that I like it is that you're all fighting each other. You're given opportunities. You're losing the belts. You're going over there. You're fighting for this belt, and that's why the featherweight division for me is my favorite division. And like I say, you're in amongst guys that are killers, in Lopez's and Lara's and Komatov. I don't know if you've seen the big Komatov.
Don't worry, I've seen him.
You calling him out?
No, I don't know how much I want to see of him. No, I'm kidding on. It's one of the ones that any of these guys can get it.
Good, and that's what I like to see, because like I say, I love seeing my countrymen do well. especially in the sport that I love. But we're dry up here in terms of getting opportunities and from us breaking out. Do you know what I mean? Josh Taylor broke out, done what he done wonderful things. Undisputed champion. Lee McGregor's on the cusp, and now we've got Nathaniel Collins who's on the cusp as well. So I'm excited. I'm buzzing, and like I say, you mentioned as well, but the age thing with Lee Wood and Warrington being in their 30s, 30 odd fights. They might be on the cusp of maybe retiring a couple of fights or so. That leaves a little gap now for the Nick Balls and Nathaniel Collins to come in there and be the next world champion in the division. How does that excite you?
Yeah, absolutely. I spoke to Lee Wood when we were down at Sheffield sparring Lee McGregor for his last fight, and he was saying, he's at that stage of his career, he's looking for the names, the Warringtons, the like the mega fights, stadium fights, the secure your future fights, really. He's not looking at Nathaniel Collins, 5,000 followers, nobody knows him yet. Obviously that this weekend's made a big change in that, but he's not looking at somebody like me and thinking, okay, I'm going to defend against him, because why those hard fights has been happening. He's had his York Hall days, he's had his difficult fights for high risk, low reward, So for me, they fights don't make sense. So it's exciting to see them get the big stadium fights, because when they're gone, the belts are free. Somebody's going to need to fight for them. Same as your Ray Vargas and stuff, obviously moved up to super feather. He's not decided what he's doing yet. So the WBC could be free soon. Figueroa's obviously got the interim, but it's wide open. It's wide open.
Mm-hmm. And who knows? I think the new rankings will be out very, very shortly. So you might be in the rankings of the IBF, WBA, and WBO this month coming. So you might have a ranking with these other organisations. Fingers crossed.
I hope so. Scumbags need to get me sorted out here. What's going on? What do I need to do? Gonna need to start greasing a few palms here.
Oh, that's. But you're doing everything right, so just keep doing what you're doing, Nathaniel. But you spoke about Lee Wood there, and obviously he's got a fight with Josh Warrington, and I know that you like to go to fights as well as be a fighter yourself, and I'm guessing you've got a keen eye on this fight. So talk to me. What's happening?
It's hard. I'm a big boxing fan anyway. I'm a massive boxing fan, but it's funny because I'm always a fan of people in my own division as well. So I was quite fanboying Lee Wood a bit. When I seen him down in Sheffield, I was like, "Oh, Lee Wood's here, man! This is class." I just like his style. I think he's a quality boxer, and I think obviously the power he carries is a bit just something special. So I think I just kind of see how Warrington wins it. I know he's got a good work rate and stuff, but Lee Wood's got the size, the work rate, the power. It's just a wee bit different. And based on Warrington's last performances, I feel like he's on a bit of a downward trajectory, So I just see Lee Wood winning by stoppage, in my opinion.
Well, that's why we love the sport of boxing, because it's all about opinions. Everyone has a different opinion and it's subjective, and that's what makes the sport fun. But back on to you before I let you go and enjoy your rest of the day. Obviously, it's still fresh. I mean, you're only out the ring Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, 4 days. But have you had any word yet from Frank or anyone or Sam on what's next?
Nah, not really. It was just, obviously it was a quick fight, so hopefully a quick turnaround. The general consensus was stay ready, so hopefully that means I'll be back out soon. I've got a wee family holiday on the 9th of September for a week, but I'll still be training when I'm on holiday. So it's just kind of don't let myself slip. I never have really, but don't let myself slip. Don't let myself get heavy. Just stay ready, stay focused, and capitalise on what's just happened. Hopefully, I did shout at Frank, you need to start bringing stuff up to Scotland. So hopefully they take that on board. And obviously I've made a good selling point with that fight there. So that's the goal.
Yeah, and listen, if you can bring the fights back up to Scotland, man, that'll be ideal. I know he done it with he done Ricky Burns and Kevin Mitchell, didn't he? All them years ago. So if Frank can do it, I would like to see Eddie do it as well at some stage as well. In the next two distant future, you can send a few Scottish fighters. But listen, Nathaniel, buzzing for you, mate. Excited for you. So happy for you. Like I say, I'm a biased jock. I love seeing my countrymen do well in this sport. And like I say, I'll be following you on to the next one. So fingers crossed. Like you say, it's a quick turnaround. Get back on the saddle. Get back training hard and knock the next guy out.
Thank you, mate. That's the plan.
I'm going to come to your gym one day because I've heard that your training sessions are quite tough, your little circuits you do. So I'm going to try and come to the gym one day and get a little workout done.
Good, that's it. We can get it on.
But remember, I'm an old man. I'm an old man, Nathaniel, so take it easy. Right, but have a good day, man. I'll speak to you soon.
Thank you, mate. You too. See you later.
You to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt rings.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.